Santoro Ashawa will lead off for the West team from the New York Giants in the 35 and over division. Pitcher and shortstop. Let's see if we can pick up who's on the mound now. Hey, Santoro Ashawa, first pitch swinging. Don with the base hit and takes a wide turn at first. Joe Gianni from the New York Grizzlies. Joe is a New York City cop in the 19th precinct. Plays for Benny Caliendo. Joe plays for Long Island Cubs tournament team in Las Vegas. Trying to pick up who the pitcher is that they brought in at the start this inning. That's still Imperio. Al, if you can take a look and let me know, or if we could get a shot of the pitcher from behind, I'll be able to pick up who it is. So Joe Gianni steps back in after the pickoff throw. Joe's 42 years old, married with 2 children, lives in Farmingville. Not Farmville.
Nope.
It's right next door to Farmville.
So Gianni comes in with some.
And that's I think
movement.
that's still Imperio. I think that's still
Yeah, Imperio's still on the mound, rather.
Still out there throwing.
Paul Imperio still on the mound. Runner on first, 0-1 the count.
Joe played his college ball at Nassau Community. Originally from Ronkonkoma. Went to Connecticut High School, Nassau Community College. And like I said, lives just near Farmville, in Farmingville, Long Island, which is out in central Suffolk County.
So Gianni steps back in the hole, 0-1.
So this is Imperio's third inning of work.
A little bit short on pitching today, so he's going to have to go pretty deep today.
Well, like we said, most of these guys, their seasons have been over for a week to 10 days. They're well rested. In fact, maybe a little bit too well rested. Imperio trying to hold that runner at first with another pickoff move to first baseman Artie Johnson from the Island Orioles, also from the Long Island Cubs in 48 and over. So Imperio looks in for the sign. 1-1 to Gianni here in the top of the 6th inning. Curveball looped
Little
into center
flare
field.
into center. Throw to second, can't get the fielder's choice. Runner had to hold it first.
So Gianni is on with a single.
First and second now with nobody out.
And Ashwara moves over to second. And
so Brian,
take a look at the replay. Gianni just gets under it, loops it just out of the reach of the center fielder, and shortstop coming over almost had a play on the force play as Ashwawa had to hold up for a minute.
That's always tough in the outfield as a ball hit off the end of the bat like that. The initial thought is to step back, and you step back and then you have to come forward. You want to come in again forward on the base hit. They'll go station to station. The throw to third, not in time, gets away, but not far enough. But the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 6th.
Dooley with the 3rd straight hit of the inning. Station to station baseball. Now we're back, I think, to the top of the order because Giacomo Antonio.
Yes, we are.
May get the award for the most vowels.
Well, he comes up. He started the game. He struck out.
I'll never forget we had Anthony Iadaveo, who won the award for the most vowels.
Hey,
but Joe Giacomo Antonio is up there with him.
And my wife, last name is Sass, S-A-S-S. My wife's name is Susan. She's got 9 letters and 5 S's. For the holidays, I buy her a vowel. So bases loaded. Big opportunity here. 1-run game. And the West with an opportunity to open things up here. Leading by a run. 1-0 pitch in tight. So now Giacomo Antonio in great position here. 2-0 count, bases loaded. Imperio has to come in with the strike. From the line, the delivery, swung on and missed on a high fastball. 2-1.
Jacob Antonio, who was the first batter of the game. We've gotten around back to him again. And for those of you listening out there and watching the game, it's a little difficult. If you notice, we're having a little difficulty picking up where we are in the batting order with 25 or 26 players in each dugout. And we give the managers the option of how they want to arrange things. So if they want to hit 26 guys in a row, they can do that. Or if they want to hit 12 guys in an order but alternate who's in one spot so that you have different batters coming up in the same batting position at different times, as Jacob Antonio walks, gets an RBI, and pushes the lead for the Western Division up a run to 4-2. And now Gerard Pissarro for his second appearance.
He struck out also swinging his first at bat. But Pissarro with 3 on, nobody out, leading by 2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good defensive play by the catcher. Antonori behind the plate.
So Gerard Pissarro, who's been in midweek for 5 years. He's a metals broker who lives in Long Beach. Plays for the Sons of the Beach, which is based in Long Beach, Long Island. Interesting, 58 years old. Originally from Garden City South. Played his high school ball at Cary High School. That's in the
Franklin Square.
Right, Franklin Square.
Matt
School
McLeese,
District.
good friend of mine, the athletic director.
And he played college ball at Nassau Community College. So he's got a chance here to push the West Division lead up with bases loaded, 1 run in, nobody out.
And a 2-1 count. That pitch missing outside. So Imperial having a hard time finding the plate here. As he walked, Giacomo Antonio to walk in a run.
Working from a windup.
He's given up 3 hits this inning, but 2 of them were just little dinkers to center field. That ball hit on the ground at third. They'll come home with it for the 4th. Short hop, can't come up with it. They would have had him. And on the fielder's choice, the run scores.
E5. Gets a run batted in because there's nobody out.
So another run scores, runner advances to third in Dooley. So now runners at the corners, 2 in this inning, increasing the lead to 5-2.
And A.D. Rios, he grounded out to third his first time up.
So Imperial not pitching poorly, but struggling here when you look at the stats.
A.D. is a power hitter. He's going to be looking for something to drive in this situation. He's one of the bigger hitters in our team, and he's had an excellent year. He's a tremendous defensive center fielder. Gets great start off the ball, great reaction off the ball, and has made plays that you wouldn't think for a guy who's 52 years old would be possible to make, because you got to remember, in these games, when we talk about the older age divisions, the field is the same size. The ball travels off the bat the same speed, no matter who's hitting. So, defensively, and there as Rios drives one into the right center field gap, this is going to get a run in. That'll be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Rios. First out of the inning. Okay, that'll be, for those of you scoring at home, SF9. No time, no official time at bat. A run in, first out. That's the 3rd run they've plated this inning.
I'm going to call it sack 8, center field.
Sack 8. Was it the center fielder? I'm
center
sorry.
field.
Oh, okay. I stand and sit corrected.
So if you're scoring at home, please make that correction.
Please go back
sack
and correct
8.
SF, in my book, the way I was taught.
Right.
I don't know how you do it. But SF 8, RBI. And this is Chuck Ahern?
Tom Foley.
Oh, Tom Foley. I'm sorry, Tom Foley.
Started out catching.
From the from the Huntington or Nassau Yankees, as they are variously known.
Runner on third. 3 runs across here. So the first 7 frames, first 3.5 innings, no scoring. And the last 4 frames, got runs on the board. East put 1 on in the bottom of the 4th. West came back with 3 in the top of the 5th. East answered with 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Was 3-2 heading into this top of the 6th. 3 runs plated thus far by the West. They lead 6-2. Breaking ball, just missing.
I think Imperio, you can see, I know Paul. He's not happy with he's not happy with the call on that pitch.
Well, when you're struggling, you want every
Oh
call.
yeah, he wanted that curveball. You could see. He is trying to get out of this jam. He knows that they're short on pitching. Same pitch in the same spot. It's tough to pick it up from here, but I'm a little surprised that he's not getting a call on that in this situation. But let's see. He's in the set. He looks in for the sign. Foley is set in the box. The runner takes off. That's a pop up to the first baseman.
Put away.
And a double play, as I don't know if the runner didn't realize how many bats there were, how many outs there were, but Imperio gets very lucky, gets Foley to pop out, and turns it into an inning-ending double play.
But not before they put 3 runs across. We've completed 5.5 for West with a 6-2 lead over the East. Bottom half of the 6th inning, and the West All-Stars putting 3 runs across in the 6th and 5th innings. Have a 6-2 lead over the East as a new pitcher comes in.
And this is George Hilliard. I recognize George. He plays for the Mid-Island Mets, Johnny Aludo, who also manages the Long Island Legends. This was Johnny's first year taking over the Legends, and did so and won a championship. So Gianni, who we just saw hitting a moment ago.
Hilliard's at the plate. That's
right.
Joe Gianni on the mound. He'll face Hilliard.
So Joe Gianni, who also pitches for the Grizzlies. He pitched for me out in Las Vegas this past year. As we said, Joey's a New York City cop in the 19th precinct.
Well, you talk
Georgie Hilliard, who's been around. See if I can pick up some information for you on Georgie.
You talk about how hard it is. Every other inning, a different pitcher, a different look, different ages. There's a lot going on. That ball fisted. Nobody can get to it. It goes foul. 0-2 now the count on Georgie Hilliard.
And this is, again, here's an example. Georgie Hilliard, who plays in the 48 and over division, facing Joe Gianni, who plays in the 35 and over division. There's easily a 10-year age gap between them. Now, how much of a difference does it make? Not as much if they saw each other regularly during the year. So that was, okay, they recorded an out on something because what we thought was that a foul pop-up? Because we're now facing a different batter. And I can only assume that Hilliard, that they caught the foul pop-up.
That ball went...
I don't know, there's a different batter up there.
That's a strange situation here.
Long Island Saints
Was that Mark Matasano? Possibly,
who just came up. If he did, they got it for 2 very quick outs on a foul pop-up, I think, to the first baseman, and that was apparently a strikeout. So Gianni get 2 very quick outs, quick enough that we can't figure out who faced him.
Well, there's one man down.
Oh,
and
there's a guy on first.
So.
Oh, that's Hilliard. Okay, so he must have gotten on that little loop up the first baseline. So there's a man on and a man out.
That ball hit down the line. That'll go foul. As this is Imperio at the plate, I believe.
Here, let's take a look and see. I think you're right.
Paul Imperio. That pitch misses. 2-1 the count. Gianni on the mound, his first inning of work in today's game here in the 6th, bottom of the 6th, with a 4-run advantage. That pitch hit hard down the line, gets off the third baseman's glove, and they call it a foul ball. Oh, that was close. Tough to see, ranging to his right. Got a glove on it, but it was in foul territory. So just a hard foul ball. 2-2 the count on Imperio. Imperio gathers himself and steps back into the box.
Paul has pitched 3 innings already today. He's been working, getting his first chance with the bat tonight. Gianni working with a cushion of 4 runs, can afford to throw strikes. and he does, gets a ground ball to third base.
Nice
Which
play
is
at
picked
first.
nicely by Rob McGee. Very nice pick to save the out there.
So 2 men
So
down.
Hilliard moves down to second base, but the second out will be recorded there as a 5-3 with a big hand from our first baseman there for the nice pick.
George Paputsakis from the Long Island Brewers.
George, who was the runner-up in the Val competition. I swear, when I sent out the memos to everybody, I don't remember saying, please send me players with as many vowels as possible, but we have a number of them.
You know, it's funny, I remember, you talk about easy names, I remember, God, when I was, had to be in the 70s, a defenseman for the St. Louis Blues hockey team, Ed Kia, nice short name, E-D-K-E-A, nice and simple, Ed Kia. Or Ed Mia.
There you go. Yeah.
Played for the Rangers, former Edmonton Oilers goaltender. Number 41, I believe, for the Rangers. 40 or 41. That pitch in for a called strike to Paputsakis. So 2-1 the count. Runner on second is 180 feet away. Breaking ball just off the end of the bat, nub foul. 2-2 the count, with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Could not ask for a nicer night for baseball. Virtually no wind.
No,
Cool temperature.
Temperature's about 70 degrees.
That's
we had
beautiful.
an early threat of rain in the late afternoon. In fact, we got a warning at 4:30 this afternoon from the school. They have a rule here that's from the NCAA about lightning, and they actually have a lightning monitor.
Yep.
We've been here when I've heard the golf course sirens go off, but they had a lightning monitor, and there's a rule that if there's lightning within 6 miles, you can't play. It's an NCAA safety rule, and it's easy to understand. But by the time I got here at 5:30, it was already clearing, and the lightning meter was showing the lightning moving off in an easterly direction. We checked weather.com, got the hour by hour, and just called for cloudy and 70 degrees. Now we're taking a look here at Billy Sazlowski, who pitched the first couple of innings for the East Division.
Of course, the Meadowbrook Golf Club, right across from us here.
Right.
As you pull into the lot, we're right by the Clark Center on the campus of SUNY Old Westbury, and Old Westbury, right off 106, 107.
Beautiful campus here, hundreds of acres. As Sazlowski fouls one back to the screen. When you come in, I come in from the service road off of Powell Lane, and coming through by the stables, and the back way through here, and it's just, the grounds are beautiful. There's a polo field where the Peloponnese.
Okay, Ralph Cramden, a string of Peloponnese.
There you go. Where the Peloponnese are out there sometimes, and it's very bucolic. As you come around the curve there, there's beautiful fountains and a man-made water hole, I guess.
I mean, I graduated from CW Post right
so
down the road in Brookville, so I know
the other side of the campus
beauty
here.
of this area. It's fantastic. Come here in the fall with the foliage,
it's
changing colors. It's a great place to go to the North Shore here of Long Island.
Well, there are 3 campuses here that kind of form a geographic triangle. New York Tech and CW Post.
Off Northern Boulevard.
On the northern side, right? And this is on the eastern edge of that triangle, off of Route 106 and 107, just north of exit 41 on the Long Island Expressway. And this is part of the state of New York university system, one of many campuses throughout the state. This one is SUNY Old Westbury. And really, the grounds here are magnificent as Gianni walks Sazlowski. So
that's going to load the bases.
That's going to load the bases, and of
course, we've got the tying run at the plate right now.
We've got the tying run at the plate, and this is one of those where, the worst thing you could possibly do when you have a lead is start putting men on base with walks. And unfortunately for Gianni, he's now dug himself a bit of a hole.
Ron Haseman from the Long Island Braves comes up with as the tying run here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2 men down. Biggest point of the game right now, Gianni on the mound is going to have to bear down. From the windup, first pitch, misses outside, 1-0.
And just a reminder here, we're playing, this is a college field, so the distance to the backstop is not like on many of the high school fields that we use where it's relatively short here. This is a deep backstop, so anything that gets by the catcher is pretty much going to be a pass ball and a run scored. So besides having to worry about bases loaded situation, Gianni's got to make sure that he keeps the ball out of strike zone.
Baseman now in the hole 1-2.
Fouls off another one. He's fouled off a couple of pitches here. Trying to fight Gianni off, looking for a pitch he can drive somewhere.
Gianni working quickly, gets the sign, the wind, the delivery. That ball fouled to the left side. Count holds at 1-2. So Gianni in his first inning of work, a strikeout, 2 walks this inning.
He dug himself into a hole. Let's see if he can dig himself out.
And a 1 base hit.
Further damage.
That pitch lifted in the air down the third base side, running over in foul territory and making the play for the final out of the inning.
Nice. That's the guy from the East Islip Giants.
So no runs on 1 hit. There were three left. And at the end of 6, it's 6-2. The West All-Stars in front over the East.
Hey guys, I played defense the first inning.
This fella from East Islip, that's a nice play he made.